This analyst position. The interview was for show. The job was mine if I wanted it. Did I want it? It certainly wasn't my dream job. Not that I had a dream job in mind. At this point, I simply wanted to be employed, and up until yesterday, I'd wanted to be employed in Bozeman. For Dustin. He'd graduated from MSU a year ago and had been working for his dad's cabinet company. I'd designed my entire future around his because he had no plans for leaving Bozeman. What now? In less than 24 hours, I'd lost my boyfriend, my home, and my cat. Why hadn't I listened to my parents when they'd offered to buy me a house in Bozeman for college? I'd insisted on having a normal college experience to forge my own path and earn my own money, like Mom had done when she'd been my age. My freshman year, I'd lived in the dorms. My sophomore and junior years, home had been a cheap rental with 2 friends. Then this past year, Dustin had asked me to move into his place. 2 years together. And it was over. Done. Destroyed. Dustin had been swamped at work lately. Too busy to come to Lark Cove this week. Knowing I wouldn't see him for a while, I'd stopped by the shop yesterday to bring him lunch. But rather than find him buried in paperwork, I'd found him buried in his dad's assistant. The saddest part of this entire ordeal was that it had taken me no time at all to pack my things. To pack up the life I thought Dustin and I had been starting. Hours. Just hours after I'd found him fucking that woman. My SUV had been stuffed with my belongings, and I'd been speeding down the interstate. Why hadn't I grabbed the cat? Loki had been Dustin's pet, not mine, but the cat liked me more. I missed my cat. Feet thudded outside the bathroom, followed by giggles. Then a door slammed and the house went still. I sighed and grabbed a wad of toilet paper, blowing my nose. I dried my eyes one last time and opened the door, emerging into the hallway. The sound of distant laughter drew me toward the long wall of windows at the back of the house. Beyond the glass, the sun shone brightly from the clear blue sky. Its rays caught the ripples in the lake, making them shimmer like stars. As I opened the sliding door and stepped out onto the deck, the rev of a boat engine filled the air. Dad was behind the wheel. Behind him was a cluster of smiling, laughing kids. Uncle Landon was untying the last of the ropes attached to the dock. Mom was standing in the bow, eyes aimed my way. She raised her arm in a wave, then blew me a kiss. I blew one back. Leaning my elbows on the deck's railing, I watched as Landon hopped in and Dad eased away from the dock, turning in a slow circle before pushing the throttle. The wake surfing boat had every top-of-the-line feature available, including a ballast system and surround sound. He had 3 other boats on our private dock too, but that one was his new toy. The engine thundered as they picked up speed, the sleek hull cutting a line in the water as they sped through the bay. When they were out of sight, I dug my phone out of my pocket. No texts. No missed calls. Not a word from Dustin. For a man who'd promised to make it right, to win me back, to beg if he needed, he'd been awfully quiet since I'd left yesterday. Asshole, I muttered. Yes, he is. My head whipped over my shoulder as Aunt Aubrey stepped onto the deck. Oh, hi. I thought I was alone. Do you want to be alone? Yes? No? I don't want anyone to see me cry. It made Mom mad, and every time Dad spotted a tear, his eyebrows came together in this worried look. I don't care if you cry, Charlie. Aubrey's brown eyes softened. I know, I sighed as yet another wave of tears came crashing forward. I just... Ugh. His loss, she said, walking to a pair of chaise lounge chairs on the deck. Truth? I followed, taking a seat beside her and letting the afternoon sun dry my cheeks. Aubrey gave me a smile before she plucked the sunglasses out of her hair and shielded her eyes. People always said Aubrey and I looked alike. We had the same dark hair, the same nose, the same tilt to our upper lip. Aubrey was beautiful, inside and out, and other than Mom, if I had my pick of women to resemble...